Hello, Endeavor students. So you are done typing your rough draft, and that means now you're ready to write your introduction. Remember that the point of the introduction is to catch the reader's attention, and you want to make sure that you're introducing your topic clearly so the reader knows exactly what is to follow. So, first thing you want to do to catch the reader's attention is use a lead, which is basically the attention grabber or the hook. No one wants to read something that starts off with, like, this is an article about Isaac Newton, or I'm going to write about Isaac Newton. That's not very exciting. So, you want to start with something that's going to catch their interest and maybe something that they can connect with. We have used these before, but this is just a review so that you can write one for your list article. And the first type is a factoid lead, and that's just beginning with an interesting fact or statistic about your topic. The example that I wrote was, did you know that the Earth and objects are constantly falling toward each other, but the Earth falls much slower? That is gravity, and we wouldn't know about it, many other scientific facts, if it weren't for Isaac Newton. So I kind of started with a fun fact that I learned while I was studying Isaac Newton and while I was researching that I thought other people might find interesting. And then I connected that to my topic of Isaac Newton. The next one is a personal story, and this is something relatable where you experience something connected to your topic. So if you're studying a musician, you might talk about a time when music really affected you, or whether you worked hard to achieve a goal, if that's what they did. If you were writing about an athlete, yours might be the first time you saw them play or the first time you played a sport. If you're writing about fighting cancer, maybe yours will be your personal experiences with that. So starting with a relatable story is a good one because people want to connect with others, and that's a good way of doing that. So my example for this one says, life sometimes seems to put obstacles in the way of our biggest dreams. We lose family members, illnesses happen, money becomes an issue, we lose motivation, and so on. Many of these have made me want to give up on goals, but I usually find my way around the obstacles life gives me and I push forward. So did Isaac Newton. So I'm just kind of connecting what happened to him and told a story that kind of relates to that from my life, as far as a lot of those obstacles have happened to me, but I have found ways to meet my goals, and that is exactly what Isaac Newton did as well. The next one is descriptive lead, and this one you're going to use figurative language, lots of adjectives or describing words to really give a clear picture of what your topic is or something specific about your topic if you wrote about like a person. So for mine, I didn't want to describe what Isaac Newton looks like, so I just picked a time or an event basically from the book and really went into detail about it so that you could picture exactly what happened. So it says, imagine a red shiny fruit as large as a baseball falling suddenly from a tree, cracking and then rolling down to the green grass after it collides with the head of an innocent resting scientist. This is how Isaac Newton first became interested in gravity, and one example of how his curiosity helped him make many important discoveries. So I described the apple with lots of details like red and shiny, as large as a baseball, so there's a simile, falling suddenly, cracking, so an onomatopoeia word, and then rolling to the green grass, so green to describe the grass, and then innocent and resting to describe Isaac Newton. And then I just explained what that was about, just because people will probably be wondering. The last one is interesting quote lead. This one is kind of cheesy, so I don't love it, but if you're struggling with some of the other ones, and if there is a motivational quote that your person said or about your topic that you really think will resonate with people or people can connect with, then you can use it. Make sure if you do this, you mention who said it and that you use quotation marks correctly. So mine says, Isaac Newton once said, my powers are ordinary, only my application brings success. And if I were to choose that one for my lead, then I would explain what that means and why I picked that quote. So I would explain that Isaac Newton did a lot of things in his life that to other people might seem amazing, but it was really just that he applied himself and that brought his success. I also have a comma after what's called a speaker tag where you say who's saying it. I have quotes around what was said out loud, and then my period is inside the quotation marks at the end. So once you do your lead, then you add your claim at the end of the lead you pick. Think about what you most want readers to know about your topic or your person, and you can make it an opinion. That's what a claim is. even though we're not really trying to convince people of something, again, they need something to connect with and they need to know why they want to read this article. So think about what's most important about your person or your topic that you think people will want to know. So I have my personal story lead. That's the one I chose. I'm not going to reread that, but that goes down to, so did Isaac Newton. Then I added my claim. So let's see if I can get this off of there. Whoops. Newton was a man who never gave up as he continued to fight for his education and work hard to make scientific discoveries. That's my claim, that's my opinion, and that's what I think people need to know about him, is that he worked really hard to make the discoveries that he made. It didn't just happen by accident. And I think that's something a lot of people can relate to. So that's why I put that as my claim and at the end. So then once you're done with that, what you do is you're going to copy and paste this, your whole introduction, which is the lead and the claim, Control C. Then you go to your list article rough draft, and this was that example I made for you guys. And where you have your placeholder for your introduction, you're just going to paste it there. Now, obviously, you're going to have to reformat it if you copy and paste from somewhere else. And that goes at the beginning so people can read that and get caught up in your article and want to keep reading your top 10 facts. Okay, so that's how you do your introduction. If you need help, don't be afraid to ask questions. If you want me to check your introduction when you're finished, I'd be happy to do that. So good luck, and I hope you guys enjoy.